Before we start this heart-touching story, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel, because today's story will leave you speechless and emotional till the very end. It was a cold, windy afternoon when a pregnant woman stumbled into a dimly lit biker bar on the edge of a small Texas town. The place smelled of oil, leather, and cigarettes. The kind of place where outsiders never came, especially not someone like her. Her clothes were soaked from the rain, her hands trembling as she pushed the heavy door open. Every conversation stopped. Every eye turned toward her. "Please. I need help," she whispered. For a moment, no one moved. Just the low hum of country music and the clinking of beer glasses. Then a large man with tattoos crawling up his neck stood up from the corner table. His name was Blaze, leader of the Iron Hawks Motorcycle Club, a man feared by everyone in town. He narrowed his eyes, not out of anger, but confusion. "You lost, lady?" Her lips quivered. "My car broke down a mile from here, and my husband, he's gone. I don't know where else to go." She placed her hand over her swollen belly. "Please, I think the baby's coming." Blaze exchanged a quick glance with his crew. None of them knew what to do. They were rough men, mechanics, fighters, bikers. Not the type to deal with crying women or childbirth. But something in her eyes, pure desperation, broke through the hard shell of the room. "Tank!" Blaze barked. "Get some blankets. Ryder, clear the table." The men jumped into action. The woman collapsed into a chair, gasping, her face pale and drenched in sweat. Blaze knelt beside her, his massive hand surprisingly gentle as he wiped rainwater from her face. "You're safe here, all right? We'll figure this out." She nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. Thank you so much." As the bikers helped her breathe through the pain, she revealed her story in broken whispers. Her name was Emily. She and her husband, Tom, had been traveling to start a new life. But when their car broke down, Tom left to find help, and never came back. She waited for hours in the storm until panic and pain drove her to wander toward the glowing neon light she saw in the distance, the bar. Blaze's jaw clenched. He didn't know this woman, but he knew that look, the look of someone abandoned when they needed love the most. Outside, thunder rolled. Inside, these tattooed men, tough, scarred, and broken in their own ways, rushed around trying to comfort her. Someone brought warm water, another found a clean sheet. One of the bikers called for an ambulance, but the storm had knocked out the phone lines. Emily screamed as another contraction hit. Blaze swallowed hard. "All right, Emily. You just hold on. We'll get through this." He'd seen war, violence, pain, but nothing terrified him more than watching this fragile woman fight for her life and her child's. Minutes stretched into an hour. The storm raged on. And in that small biker bar filled with grease and sweat, something incredible happened. The men who had spent their lives fighting the world, now fought for life itself. When the baby's cry finally filled the air, the entire room froze. Emily sobbed in relief as Blaze carefully wrapped the tiny, squirming boy in his leather jacket. For the first time in years, he smiled, a real one. "He's perfect," he said softly. "Welcome to the world, little man." Emily could barely speak through her tears. "Thank you, you saved us." The bikers cheered, laughing and crying all at once. That night, the Iron Hawks became more than outlaws, they became protectors. But when morning came, everything changed again. The next day, as the sun broke through the storm clouds, Blaze stepped outside to clear his head. He spotted something in the distance, a man staggering down the road, blood on his face, clothes torn. Blaze's instincts kicked in. He ran toward him, ready for a fight. But when the man fell to his knees, gasping, Blaze froze. It was Tom. Emily's husband. Back inside, Emily looked up and gasped when she saw him. Tom! Oh my God, you're alive! Tom rushed to her side, crying as he kissed her and their baby. I tried to come back, but I got jumped by 2 men near the highway. I thought I'd never see you again. The bikers stood silently, watching the reunion. Blaze's heart twisted. He had felt something for Emily, something pure, something he hadn't felt in years. But as he watched the small family hold each other, he knew it wasn't his to keep. Tom turned to Blaze. You saved them, didn't you? Blaze shrugged. Just did what anyone should do. But Tom shook his head. No, not everyone would. I owe you my life. Emily reached out, touching Blaze's hand. You gave me back hope. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then Blaze smiled faintly and said, Hope doesn't die easy around here. Days later, after the storm had cleared and the roads opened, Emily and Tom prepared to leave. Before they left, Emily handed Blaze a small note. It said, You reminded me that even in the darkest places, kindness still lives. Never doubt that you made a difference. As the car drove off into the sunrise, Blaze stood outside the bar, the wind tugging at his jacket. For once, he didn't feel empty. He turned back to his brothers and said, All right boys. Drinks on me. We've got a new story to tell. And for years to come, every biker who walked into that bar would hear the story of the night a pregnant woman stumbled into their world, and how it changed their hearts forever. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful, real-life stories that remind us, sometimes the roughest people have the kindest souls.